Okay, we are live. Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about technology, how it affects us as college kids in our day-to-day basis. Basically, modern technology is just an advancement of pre-existing old technology. The technology that we as college kids use on a day-to-day basis oftentimes enhance our lives. I don't really see it as a hindrance, but there's obviously another side to every story. We have an anti-side that's going to be anti-technology side that's going to be talking about why technology is not good for us. We right now are the first generation to see life before and after the technology boom. We were around when cell phones were not owned by everybody, before apps, before the cloud, before everybody was obsessed with computers and networking online and everything like that. So, as the pro technology side, we believe that technology is beneficial to mankind. We also have our anti technology side, which believe that more often than not, technology is a hindrance to society. I would like to introduce our anti and my partner in pro technology side. We're going to start with Alex.
Hi, how are you guys? Yeah, my name is Alex Glazer. I'm a senior here at Rutgers. I'm in the ITI program, so I've seen technology throughout my college career and I've grown up on it. And frankly, I think that it's more of a letdown to our society rather than a moving forward with getting getting further in life with advancements and whatnot.
Hmm. Alyssa.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Crompier. I'm a senior at Rutgers. I'm on the pro technology side. I personally think that technology can be used as an opportunity to connect as well as to improve our mental and therefore physical well-being. And it really depends on what you are using technology for.
And last, Ed.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Ed Bibiano. I'm a senior here at Rutgers. I'm graduating this spring, and my view on technology is that it's not really that good. So I believe that social media has made people more antisocial, and I believe that we're over reliant on technology, and I don't think that's good for our society as a whole. Back to you, Alex.
Actually, I'll take over from here, Ed. Uh, Lastly, my name is Brian Vinogradov. I'm also a senior here at Rutgers, psychology major, and I'm also on the pro side for technology with Alyssa. And we're going to start off. First of all, I'd like to ask the audience: have you ever stopped to think about the impact technology has on your life? Well, today we're going to answer that question for you. We have a little preview of our pro statements. You have the option of technology, connectivity, knowledge, and well-being. And to preview some of our anti-technology topics, we're going to be discussing the antisocial aspect of technology, the human over-dependence on technology that we've seen in recent years, and the imminent health risks to technology having such a prevalent role in our life. So I'm going to start off with our first main point for pro technology. I believe that it is good to have the option if of whether or not you want to take part in technology. Um, Basically, you can be a part of it, you cannot be a part of it, but having that option is a good. Having that choice is good for mankind because the more options you have to choose from, then that's just better for the human race. Why did it not? It's our responsibility to use technology appropriately. It can help or hinder. Um, for an example of how technology can help you is by expanding your mind through the thousands of websites that allow that have tons of resources for on different subjects, history, technology, self-development, anything like that. There's also tons of opportunities to network with people from all over the world. There's all these platforms to be for entertainment, whether watching your favorite show or movie. Um, connecting with, as I said, connecting with different people and just learning from others. There's a whole host of opportunities available online. Another very important feature of technology is that the ability to communicate with people that are far away. You can stay connected with people by using applications such as FaceTime, Skype, ooVoo, and now even Facebook has a video chat option. And that allows you to see family and friends all over the world at the click of a button. All you need is an internet connection. And that is a lot more convenient than traveling thousands of miles across the country to another, across the planet even, to see family that you might not see on a regular basis. And stay connected with your family and friends is very important. That's what keeps you happy. And a lot of these points I obtained from useoftechnology.com, and I think they're very valid because without being able to, without being connected to your family and friends, we would live kind of a shallow existence just surrounded by acquaintances. Grow with your family and friends by using video chat software or any other resources online.
Those are great points, Brian. But what my response to that is that people all too often are more focused on technology and neglect the world around them. This leads to antisocial behavior and a general lack of social skills because people never really learn to interact with others. You see it all the time, like people in class or people when you go to a party or whatever, people are on their phones. And people aren't on their phones because they think the party is boring. People are on their phones because they really don't know how to interact with other people. They've never really learned to, go up and say just hi to to a complete stranger.
That's true. I see it all the time myself.
And in a study, according to mobilestatistics.com, an average person spends about 90 minutes a day on their phone. This figure may seem inconsequential, but if you extend that, they do it to 23 days a year are spent on a person are spent looking at their phones, and then in an average person's life, that's about 4 years. Technology should be used to enhance our lives, but what happens more often than not is that it's used for non-productive reasons. Social media simply makes it easier not to interact with other people. We all have hundreds of friends on Facebook, but how many of them are really our friends? And I'll bring it over to my partner Alex to bring up our first main point.
Disagree and agree slightly with a few of the things that you said, but I'm going to further address the health risks that are associated with the modernization and advancement of new technologies. Let's begin with talking about cell phones. Radiation has been a common subject among many in the health field and doctors that do research on this kind of situation. Actually, according to the American Cancer Society, although there may not be a substantial amount of research that has currently been done, doctors have found an increased risk for brain tumors among those who frequent cell phone use. Also on this topic, cell phones tend to add risks to being in accidents and injuries. For example, texting while driving is just one of the ways that injuries and death have occurred via the smartphones that are in just about all of our cars at all times. They act as a distraction to daily life. And according to some statistics, 421,000 people were injured in motor vehicle accidents just in 2012, which is a 9% increase from the 387,000 person figure of injuries that occurred in 2011 given motor vehicle distractions. And other than such serious diseases as cancers, technology has made us further lazy in our daily lives. Vacuums are becoming self-piloted, books are being read to us, and dictation has taken over. Just look at any GPS or even Siri on every Apple smartphone that's out there. According to INC.com, technology gives us more freedom, but it doesn't tell us how to use it. Kids play video games instead of exercising, and smart TVs have taken hours of productivity away from our daily lives.
Thank
What
you,
were you
Alex. Thank you, Alex. I disagree with what you're saying, although I understand the concern about the overuse of technology and therefore the decline of physical health. There are millions of things in the world that can contribute to poor physical health. I think technology can actually be used to promote health. Specifically, I'm talking about mental health and well-being. And according to the Canadian Mental Health Association, mental health and physical health are fundamentally linked. So if we can get mental health to be better, we could potentially improve physical health. And I believe that this can be done by using online resources and uniting people through online groups and communities. In real life, people might not have access to certain information or people to discuss topics of interest or concern with. But online, you're much more likely to be able to find people that are relatable, who you can talk to. For example, there are support groups online for people with mental illnesses and people who are facing all types of challenges. Websites such as dailystrength.org and mentalhealthamerica.net have hundreds of topics to talk about, ranging from alcoholism and addiction to suicide prevention. And if you think about it, if they don't have these resources to go to, people could suffer in silence for the rest of their lives and not have the opportunity to work through their issues with other people.
If I could add on to that, Alyssa, not only are there the mental health benefits, I feel like there are the physical benefits as well, with just learning about different fitness routines, healthy recipes, what foods to avoid. I mean, even like emergency situations, like, oh, like avoid this food. There's like an Ebola, E. coli, my bad, correction, E. coli like outbreak in lettuce, for example. And there's also the support groups for the physical health as well, in addition to the mental health. Nike has a host of apps where it'll track your progress, and there's a community for that as well, where you can kind of compete with people all over the world and see how they're doing and how you stack up, how you rank against other people, and it's competitive, but it's all like a supportive environment that just helps physically and mentally.
Absolutely, and even to add on to what Alex argued about people using video games instead of going outside and playing, there are video games now that are dedicated to fitness, such as Wii Fitness and things like that. So there are so many opportunities to use technology to promote health. I personally love online communities that are dedicated to spreading positivity, raising consciousness, and promoting wellness. There are blogs such as tinybuddha.com and MindBodyGreen that have thousands of articles and blog posts about how to improve your wellness. And there are even Instagram accounts and Facebook pages that are solely dedicated to spreading positivity, which adds to that idea of mental well-being and therefore physical well-being. And this really brings people together and gives them a sense of community that they might not have otherwise. Caroline Haythornthwaite and Lori Kendall from the University of Illinois are professors who study computer-mediated communication, and they did a study and found that online communities actually strengthen offline local bonds and relationships, and it builds a network of people who are mutually aware of each other, and therefore creates this sense of community, which is really great to have, and also contributes to the feeling of wholeness and well-being. Another great thing about technology is that we can use it to learn how to do things that we would not be able to learn how to do without that resource. For example, you can learn how to play guitar or properly use Excel, or you can even earn your college degree online. And I think that this is especially important for stay-at-home parents, moms who have just had children, or who have children and didn't get to finish their degree, and they don't have time necessarily to give up to go to class. They can take their classes, but also be able to make it to their son's soccer game or their daughter's, swimming meet. And according to Dr. Lena Lincoln Paskey, who is Associate Professor of General Education at South University, children watching their parents take online classes and focus on their education not only builds respect for their parent as a learner, but it also builds respect for education. So it's really a win-win situation all around.
Alyssa, I definitely think that technology, of course, it's used for great things around the world in daily life, but the extended use of technology in return takes away from our natural human qualities, I believe. Let's address the online degree that you were talking about. You're losing the personal time for your professor to better understand the material that you're being taught. Actually, according to everydaylife.com, campus learning allows for classroom-based interaction and informal relationship building outside of class, while online class interaction takes place through technology, which lacks in human interactive learning. Given this quote, I believe that online degrees can reduce the retention of material given the many distractions we have both on the web and at home. It's difficult to relate an online degree to a actual in-class degree because there are just so many differences when it comes to the recall and overall retention of the information that you're being provided with.
You raise a good point, Alex, especially the whole issue about online degrees. And the issue that you raise is that people have become incredibly reliant on technology to the point that its loss or malfunction would prove catastrophic. You know, my entire academic career is on my laptop right now, and if something were to happen to my laptop, basically I can kiss my bachelor's degree goodbye, and I'm definitely not going to be graduating on time. And the thing that Alyssa brought up with the whole online courses, like imagine if that happened with them. Like that's a lot of money that they spent on like Phoenix University and stuff like that. And if that stuff is gone, then they're going to be in a load of trouble. But then look at the same scenario and like magnified on a macro scale. So pretty much corporations, financial institutions, and entire nations are subject to collapse if something were to hack. If someone were able to hack their mainframes, like we see all the time, like in the news, like U.S. News showed. An article in U.S. News showed that like how the implications of a hacker attack would have just on the U.S. structure, and like we're all like familiar with the North Korean hacks on Sony, and look what happened with that. I mean, this could happen, and it could really cripple an entire nation and a company. Like a company could go under from a hacker attack.
I see what you're saying, Ed. I feel that it's a little bit over dramatic to think that an entire company could be shut down. I don't think we've really seen that yet, where an entire company, went bankrupt or had to close its doors. We saw the attack on Sony, and some of the employees lost their personal data, but Sony, came back from that, and I'm sure they've implemented more secure processing for their data, and there's also some options for keeping your data saved in the event that your laptop is stolen, which happens quite often, or it breaks. For example, you could use the cloud, which is basically a wireless way to upload your data, and you can actually not only save your data, but you can access it anywhere in the world. So whereas 20 years ago there was no cloud, you can only access your data on your computer at home, or if you are prepared enough and you put your data on a thumb drive, for example, or on a disk. But nowadays you can upload to the cloud, fly across the country, and get access to Wi-Fi, and you can get all your information right there, even though you're nowhere near home. And honestly, corporations have kept up with the times and secured their businesses. According to Salesforce.com, encryption has done a very good job with securing people's financial data. And nowadays, if you really want to be secure, there's also physical aspects to security. For example, physically speaking on the phone with a representative from a company and verifying different information that would only be disclosed over the phone as opposed to online in a written format. So there's definitely ways to to keep your information secure and to access your information. So we talked about a lot of good points today. To conclude, I'd like to summarize some of the points we talked about for pro and anti-technology. It comes down to having the choice, which I think is a great thing to have in today's day and age, whether you are that single mom, whether you are concerned about the security of your customers. There's a choice of technology and partaking in it. There's the advantage of connecting to the world around you. And on the other hand, we also talked about the negatives of technology, such as overdependence, antisocial tendencies, and a host of other problems that we have all encountered as college-age kids, students that use technology on a day-to-day basis. At the end of the day, as with everything, there is a good and a bad, and there are opposing viewpoints that fuel these ideas. So the question is, what side will you be on? The good, the bad, or the selfie?